If you don't know anything about this controversy,
basically, MeatCanyon made a video talking about Loli after the whole Voss situation, which made the term spike up significantly. So this other person was arguing against him and even saying that he was actually the pedophile because he hated CP. As you can tell from the tone of my voice, I am very fucking excited right now. So let's get into fucking Dreamland. This guy is having the character of a 5-year-old girl. As you can see, that this is going to be a very good video.
Fan base he's referring to is lolicons, as well as anime fans generally, because throughout the video, multiple times, he lumps those two groups together, situation involving him. Now, if you want a breakdown of what happened about 2 weeks ago to Vosh, you can find a link to my video about it in the description.
I've watched both. Mine is better.
This is a you sat down and animated underage characters being sexualized type of a moment. It goes way beyond the usual hypocrisy we see with this subject.
If you ever watched MeatCanyon's videos, what he often likes to do is make you uncomfortable with his art style, with maybe the audio effects, or the overall story.
I need you, SpongeBob.
Go
secret formula.
So not only does he try to make you uncomfortable, but what he also tries to do is not make it sexual. For example, look at the characters. If I was a quote-unquote art creator, I definitely wouldn't make my designs like that if I wanted to satisfy people, if you get my meaning. You know, it wasn't trying to be sexual, and I'm pretty sure that people have even winked off to it, but I'm pretty sure, for example, a video like me at the zoo, there's probably at least one person who winked off to it. And the reason why it's not as a big number as Granny Smashers 3 featuring Angry Grandpa Veteran is because that was not its intentions. It was not supposed to be sexual material. But now in society, we often sexualize everything. And what I am mad about this point is that he compares him to Shadman, a cheese pizza baker. Are you honestly that stupid that you think these two types of content are the exact same thing?
MeatCanyon, or one of his defenders, try to explain how what he's doing to those characters is somehow different than the anime fans he's labeling pedophiles because of the way those fictional characters are sexualized. I would love to see him try to...
I think one big part of it is your intentions, like, what is this for? Who is this audience for? And one big example is the Tom Brady situation. He made a video basically where Tom Brady and his son go fucking wild, just on the grass. I look at his other content, and when I see how wild he tries to go, I think he just went a bit too far, and he made us way too uncomfortable in a bad way. Whereas someone like Shadman, he is making that content to comfort people and to satisfy them with their weird fetishes.
Take that massive L.
She looks like an 8 or 9-year-old child. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid team, just come out and say something. Or, better yet, let's just not make it.
First of all, let me just mention that this was the fumble of the century. So he's going into an anti-lolicon rant, right? And he brings up Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and he doesn't reference characters like Kana. He goes for Ilalu.
Can you stop yapping out fucking names? You act like we've watched this shit.
And then the projection is off the charts. This guy looks at this large-breasted dragon character and immediately thinks of children.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's a fucking child. It's short, it has a little face, like, what do you want? Look at my transitioner for chapters, for example. The woman in the dress. Do you think that she looks older than this girl? If so, why? Maybe it's because of their personality, or maybe the way they dress, or the way they act, or how they're taller than these apparently 1,000-year-old. Female plus big tits does not equal woman. It's way more complicated than that. Shit, this woman does not have fucking H cups, but yet she looks more like a woman. Isn't that weird? And I don't know where this anime even came from. I just found this. It was a GIF on Google. But I would prefer those people being sexualized more than the other characters in the dragon anime or whatever, because at least they look their age. And you know, it doesn't look like fucking little Sally from kindergarten with H-size cups.
If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and walks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. If they look like a kid, talk like a kid, and act like a kid, it's a fucking kid.
To give someone's pretty educated and fair take on the subject of lolicon and sexualized characters in anime in general.
And for some fucking reason, Twitter being the cesspool that it is somehow brings anime into this, talking about, well, why is cuties such a big deal when anime has kids being sexualized? Well, first of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that have existed for 2 millennia, but they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things. These are actual 11 and 12-year-old girls that are subjected to this hypersexualization in this movie that the director has forced upon them. That's very different. This is real world versus totally fucking made up, drawn characters. It's not even...
Earlier you made a video criticizing Vosh with the whole CP situation. Then earlier you were going off about how he's a child diddler and giving the definition of what is CP. Now you are arguing that it is okay because it's fake. Now before we get into this, real quick, I just want to talk a bit more about the, oh, it's just a drawing argument. For the past couple years now, like most men, I have a certain addiction. But don't worry, I'm going through it really well, and I made decent progress. Anyways, what I notice is I watch a lot of stepbro stuff type of stuff. And so naturally, that made me interested in ass. Now, I'm not saying because you look for children animated and then you jerk off to it and then you nut to it, it doesn't make you a pedophile. But you know, it's just a little weird. It's just a little weird, but we're not definitely pedophiles, right? But anyways, back to what I talk about. He constantly flip-flops with, oh, CP is bad, or oh, it's just drawings, which is stupid. Not even fucking 5 minutes ago, this fuckcuck was yapping about how it was bad and how MeatCanyon was definitely a pedophile because he was making these weird things of kids. I appreciate the fact that you separated these 2 points so that majority of people with shit attention spans would immediately forget about this. But unfortunately, I don't go on shorts way too often, so get fucked, fuckcuck.
Oh, you didn't understand. The reason he was talking about it was because he made a reference of an actual child.
Like I said, 1, it was not for sexual intentions. It was just a joke that went way too far. And number 2, you are arguing that sexual child drawings are better than a joke animation with Tom Brady, and I'd gladly rather be in Daddy Meat Sticks situation than whatever the fuck you're going through right now.
Would you be willing to come to a town meeting and show your support?
Absolutely. Now, is this park going to have a playground or, you know, maybe a pool for the kids?
Oh, how old are your kids?
No kids.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna put him down as a yes.
Don't do that.
Also, is the park going to be at least 1,000 feet from my house? Because, you know, I really can't move again.
Even when you watch the video, you notice that Colonel Sanders often tries to make the audience very uncomfortable.
They should lock away all these cute girls for all these temptated thoughts I feel.
My hand and reach down to the bottom of the bucket and grab the loneliest little chicken wing you've ever seen. Pull it up from out of the darkness and show it the light. And what I like to do is I like to undress the skin off the top of it. Just like so. Look at that. Crunchy and delicious, but what's the most succulent is the beautiful, juiciest white meat underneath. And I know that when I bite into it, oh, that delicious juice will squirt out of my mouth and onto my chin.
I think he added Colonel Sanders to represent the people who like anime, but they like a specific genre of it. And he's there to represent the creeps and the actual people that he's against, not anime in general. He does not hate anime fans, especially when he recognizes the fact that he owns anime himself.
Oh, look at this right here. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, the Death Note, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. You got all.
Now, I don't know what idiot would just blatantly say that they're a pedophile. And, you know, this has happened before, but, like, what are the chances of it again? You know what I'm saying? And going back to that Tom Brady situation, I didn't even know that was an animation until after this, but I checked over it and it was kind of weird. It was not nearly as, like, the characters weren't weirdly drawn as other animations, and the entire joke was just those two making out. I do think it was weird that he drew that, but he really hasn't done anything like that ever, so I think it was just like a bad take of, oh, this is funny, this will definitely not give me any controversy. It's different from people like Vosh who like to talk about it constantly and subtly at the same time. constantly talking about CP. MeatCanyon does a bunch of other fucked up shit, like transforming as demons or abuse. Well, even baby milkshakes aren't off the table, especially at McDonald's.
The thing is that you need to know what is the certain point. What is the border between weird and not weird? Even though he's a pedophile, I think Tipster said it right. You probably shouldn't be going to these types of sites with these types of anime because you really can't tell their age. I also hate the fact that it's automatically assumed that MeatCanyon just hates anime because he hates Loli. It's basically the equivalent of a gay person being mad because I talk trash about pedophiles. Anyways, bye and shit.